you need to get 4 empty buckets from right here beside you. And you need to get 4 lids too. And then you need to go down to the creek and fill them up. And then
After you pick up your 4 buckets and lids from the school, you're going to head down towards Squalicum Creek Park. But instead of going into the park, take a left on Squalicum Way. Turn right into the parking lot of the Squalicum Lofts. And then follow the driveway to the right back behind the buildings. You'll want to find a place to park on the gravel road that parallels the creek. You can park, and grab your buckets, and head on down to the creek.
bring the 4 buckets down to the creek. Make sure to wear your rubber boots. And you make sure to find the best place possible to fill the buckets. And you have to find a good spot to get the cleanest water possible in this place. Can you start it now?
It's rolling.
But I'd like to kind of clean some of the things in there, and so I'm worried that that black one, you can't tell if it's clean or dirty. I'm gonna get a little more, okay? Taken off the tank, the first job is to take 3 buckets of water out of the tank. And there are 2 ways to do it. The first way is to use a pitcher and scoop the water out. It's safe for the fish, and it's a pretty easy way to do it. It does take a little bit of time, however. So the other option that is more efficient is using this pump. However, it does require there to be at least 2 people helping with this because it's kind of tricky. So Dorothy and I will show you how this works. So on one end is a hose, and you want to stick it in the bottom of the bucket, and somebody needs to hold on to it because when the water comes out, it will go flying. The other part is this pump. And this pump is tricky because it needs to be in the water, but it can't go all the way to the bottom. And you need to be really careful that you don't drop it because it will squish the fish if it lands on them. So holding on to the hose in the bucket, holding on to the pump. Then the second person is going to unplug the top cord, that's for the fan, and then plug in the fan in that same position. There isn't an on and off switch on the pump, and so, there isn't an on and off switch on the pump, so you plug it in to turn it on, and then you unplug it when it is time to turn it off. So go ahead and unplug it, turn it off. And even after it's unplugged, the water still continues to come out of the hose for a while, so you want to be patient and let it continue to go.
It takes about a couple minutes, but it unplugs.
Then the water needs to be dumped before the new water is put in. So you lift the bucket and you can carry it into the kitchen. And there's a utility sink right inside the door.
You usually need to ask someone, Warren or another helper to open the door.
And you can just dump it into this. And that's it. Dump the. So once you've taken out your 3 buckets out of the tank, please make sure if you unplug the fan that you get that plugged in until all the outlets are filled. Now to put the water from the creek back in the tank, there's only one way to do it, and that's with the scoop. The pressure on the pump is just too strong and it can move the rocks and hurt the salmon. So make sure that you're using the pitcher to pour it in. And when you put it in, you don't want to pour from too high either because that can cause a lot of pressure. So just set it in the top and dump it in. And it takes a few moments, but it's not too bad. Once you put all the water in that goes in, you can put the lid back on the tank and the water change is complete. Dorothy and I will demonstrate how it works. So you put the hose into the bucket. Dorothy, can you help me? And the pump goes into the top of the tank, just enough that it sucks up water. You have to be really careful. If you drop this, it will squish the salmon, so you have to hold on really tight. And then you plug this in. There isn't an on-off, it's just a plug in to turn it on and unplug to turn it off. And so Dorothy, I'm going to have you come over here. You can leave that. And unplug the top plug only, because that's for a fan. And then you'll see as soon as Dorothy plugs it in.
You guys.
Good bloopers.